Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week, I did not take a trade any of those days because I had the flu. And I learned that if I'm not going to be mentally with it, I stay out of the market. Otherwise, I'd have been sick and pissed off because I lost money. So, today I was feeling better. I was still home from my job. Give them another day before I go back and fuck their shit up some more. So, I took this trade here. 10-10. I got in on this candle and I got out on this one here. This actually played out on the 2-minute. Nope. I was watching the 2-minute this morning instead of the 5-minute because of the chop. Actually had quite a bit more movement today than I'd been used to seeing, so I went to a shorter time frame. But this is what I saw. This is my pre-market low. This is the level I was watching. I saw it come down here, and then almost no bottom wick, almost no bottom wick, more bottom wick, and more volume. So on that one, when I saw that, I switched, believe it or not, to the 1-minute. The one I don't like to use because it used to give me the anxiety. So, this was the volume one. It came down here. It did close red, but there was a whole, it was 30 cents worth of wick on this with substantially higher volume, which means it came down here and then there were some buyers, significant buyers, to push it back up. I waited for this candle here. I saw it did not make a new low. It came down here, still red, but on lower volume. It didn't look, watching the level 2, it didn't look like it was having the selling pressure anymore. So I went to get in on calls, but I did it on this candle, this 10-10 candle. And actually, because I was on my phone and it was moving really quickly, I didn't get in until about right here, about 405.70. So I would have liked to have gotten in down here, but I had to give myself wider stop on this one, about 40 cents more than I wanted to, because my actual stop would have been a break below 20, so that would have been about a 50-cent stop loss. Whereas if I'd gotten down here, it would have been 10 or 15 cents, which would have been perfect. But it was not a perfect trade. It was a decent trade, but it was not perfect. Had a little bit of consolidation here. I wasn't really watching the contract price. I was watching for lows and I was watching price action, and it was kind of flagging a little bit. I was still saying on this candle here, if it was going to try to make a new low, I was going to get out. 13 started coming up with volume. 14 started to kind of peter off a little bit. And actually, right about the top here is where I got out. My initial plan that I did not follow was actually to hold this up to VWAP. VWAP was confluent with that 50% retracement at 406.70. That's where this was. So I got out at 406.40. 35 some, and then it got another 40 cents out of it, and then kept going. So this was a really good example of these levels are a guideline, but it is not going to necessarily bounce right off of it. So I have to be mindful of that and be flexible with my entries and actually watch the candles forming, instead of just waiting for a number. Say it's going, once it hits this, I'm going to buy. Once it hits this, I'm going to buy. I got to watch volume, and I have to watch the way the orders are coming in, and I have to watch level 2 to make sure that this is being confirmed. I don't trade on the 1-minute. I only use the 1-minute to sniper my entries, which would have happened on this if I had been quicker on the trigger and quicker to... I actually was having some network issues today too, so I don't know if part of that was me and part of it was Verizon, or what the case was. But either way, I was slow to get in. I had a real wide stop on it because I knew where the bottom, my invalidation point was down here, and I felt pretty good about it on this push up. I started to not feel so good about it on this one, and it was because of where I got in. Messed with me a little bit, but you see, that was a pretty good one. Overall, if I'd caught it from where I caught it, 670, 570, 670 was a full dollar before it would have hit my actual price target up here. And I watched these contracts go 100%. So, proof again. When I'm right on direction, they go 100%.